A sentimental feeling overtook me when I worked on a few Nostradamus prophecies. My book, published back in 2018, in it, I found events at that time which echoed warnings in the prophecies. People may brush off Nostradamus' warnings because he wrote 942 predictions. These are different. Found in clusters, we found France's Yellow Vest movement seemed to echo warnings of the end days to come. End day time is not a date, but rather a time full of chaos and death. A period when the old norms can only be found in distant memories. That day came when COVID-19 broke out. In just a few months, the world saw what no one had expected. Locked cities, collapsed healthcare systems, bodies left in streets, power nations one by one beaten by the invisible virus. Although this may not be the end, it sure showed us what may well be possible and what it might feel like at the end times. It is easier to look back and see how we stumbled through year 2020, because as of March 15th, 2021, 20% of Americans already have been vaccinated, and the infection and death rates dropped in countries successfully that rolled out the secured vaccine. But new variants and hotspots keep on coming up. Doesn't that make you wonder if we have seen the light at the end of the tunnel yet? The virus brought the best and worst out of us. At the beginning, we saw how countries fought for a mask. You can't blame people caring about themselves at a time like this. But you also need to think, if you take away the mask from countries suffering the outbreak, how do we stop the spread? And then we got vaccines. We understand how leaders feel the need to hoard the vaccine within their borders so they can show voters how the elected officials put the voters' interest first. But can you really win the war by winning just your battle? Actually, I feel mankind's chance of survival declines when some nations have more vaccine than people are willing to be vaccinated, while some countries can't even protect their frontline health workers with a dose. Well, what can I do? I am just a nobody. But this nobody tries really, really hard to fight the pandemic. Spring 2019, when the virus was only a China problem, I released books and videos telling people the need for global cooperation. I urged people to wear a mask, wash their hands. In my award-winning video, Win the Invisible War, I know no one would listen to me, so I released 3 books based on what Nostradamus said about the virus. Nostradamus on Plague, Decoded, Ignored, and Fulfilled, and Nostradamus Virus Watch List. And the once popular but blocked book by Amazon, Nostradamus on Virus Outbreak, is Doomsday Upon Us. Sadly, few heard my words. Trying to tell people to arm ourselves with the right gears during the anti-Chinese period somehow got me on the blacklist somehow. My YouTube subscribers were deleted without their knowledge. My followers can't find me, nor my videos. My viewership has been down 99%, and we found my videos can't be found no matter how hard you try to search for them. Did I give up? No. I just have to try harder. During this time, I won over 400 IMDb Film Festival awards. I can't make you watch my films, but I can win film festivals' votes when I pay the entry fee. Hopefully, someone would spread the word around. But that was not enough. I wish I could do more, and I did more. I met an energy master who was famous for sending remote energy to heal patients. And because he passed scientific test 17 times back in 2010, when he remotely killed 99.7% hepatitis B virus in 10 minutes, I asked him to try killing the coronavirus. And since Taiwan has no active cases during that time, I figured out a way for him to fight the virus in a remote country suffering an outbreak. That country is Liechtenstein. The master sent energy for 8 days to the only hospital in this small country. Even though the energy work lasted for only 1 hour each day, and the master did not have the usual pictures, nor names provided to him, he worked on sending positive energy through changing the energy field. The center works like a magnet. It sent out not only to patients in the hospital, but also to the surrounding area. Because Liechtenstein is a country, Worldometer.info kept all its coronavirus records. You can see how the critical ill dropped 24% after 2 sessions, and its recovery jumped by 76%, despite being caught up in Europe's worst virus outbreak. And you can also see how COVID-19 is basically wiped off from this country. The data is very impressive, but Liechtenstein is such a small country. However, soon after wrapping up the projects, I had 3 acquaintances infected with COVID-19. They got the 1 hour remote energy work for 3 days, and all 3 got negative tests right afterwards. My friend, who could not breathe before the energy work, told me his doctor could not find any virus in his system, but antibodies showed he was infected till very recently. I don't know how the energy could kill the virus in the systems of 3 Americans the master had never met. I would probably call these fake news if I did not know these 3 for years and knew they were sick. But I feel I should seek more evidence before sharing the information. So I got 2 soybeans in the market and asked the master to send energy to the beans in the plastic container with a red rubber band. I placed them in my kitchen on top of 2 cotton pads and sprayed them with water daily. The bean in the red band container started sprouting in 36 hours. It was a strange looking bean sprout. As it grew multiple roots by day 5, an expert told me that he has never seen a bean sprout like this, but the roots would give it a better chance to survive. Before the end of the 2-week experiment, the bean received energy work, grew multiple roots, and looked more like an octopus than a bean sprout, while the other one also started growing at day 6, but looked more like a regular bean sprout. To make sure I did not pick a mutated bean by accident, I started a new experiment with 8 beans. Before we planted the possible new spice of beans to the ground, I decided to place 4 beans in 2 containers and asked the master to send energy to the one wrapped with red rubber band. 3 out of the 4 receiving energy started sprouting, but only 1 out of the 4, without the energy work, sprouted. We photographed the 2 bean packs for 10 days, and you can see the huge difference in the 2 groups. The one receiving energy grew multiple roots, The biggest one had so many roots towards the end, I can't even take the cotton pad off. You can see the roots on both sides of the cotton pad. Even the second bean grew 3 huge roots like a tripod. And if you look carefully, there's even roots sticking out on the bean itself. I mean, not on the sprout, on the bean. I searched but could not find such strange-looking bean sprouts. However, my search did find a few helpful articles on space seed. In an article released January 2021, Chinese government program which sent thousands of seeds into orbit over the past few years, researchers said space travel changed the seed's genetic makeup. Space seeds can produce new kinds of rice, wheat, and vegetables which are more productive, larger, and even more nutritious. Master said he did not send his energy, he just guided energy from the universe. The beans in my kitchen seem to have similar effects as the seeds sent to space. Isn't that amazing? Like I said earlier, I think we are in trouble. I wanted to help, but there's not much I can do that I have not yet tried. But if the Master can guide remote energy to kill COVID-19, maybe he can help. 2021 marked the turning point on the fight with COVID-19. Vaccines started rolling off from the shelves to people's arms. USA's daily confirmed cases from January 8, 2021, 308,853 to about 50,000 in March. But countries without the vaccine weren't so lucky. Take Mexico as an example. Its confirmed cases reached the high of 22,339 on January 22, 2021. The confirmed cases dropped to about 7,000 in early March 2021. And the daily deaths also dropped from 1,803 on January 22, 2021 to about 700 per day in March 2021. But with few vaccines secured and death rate still stays about 10%, the future seemed pitch black. So I came up with another plan. I asked the Master to help Mexico by sending healing energy to Mexican hospitals, one at a time. I know there are thousands of hospitals, but with COVID death rates at 10%, which is about 10 times higher than most countries, I feel he could have saved 10 times more people with the energy. We started with Tijuana General Hospital. My plan was to move from the north to the south. But a viewer told me his city is really being hit hard and asked us to help hospitals in his city of Monterrey. The Master agreed to work on the 2 hospitals he recommended. One was a designated COVID hospital. On the 10th day, he left comments in my video telling us he was pleasantly surprised when he found the COVID alert was downgraded. We were encouraged, although we can't say for sure if our work made any difference. But fighting COVID with patients in Mexico made us feel like comrades. So we decided to work on 2 hospitals a week. With more research, we found the worst hit area is in Mexico City. So we picked General Hospital and Jesus Hospital there.
也祝福他们早日康复，远离病苦。谢谢。
Despite the Master's busy schedule, he started working on Rodolfo Antonio de Mucha Macias and Angel Hospital in Mexico City. We both knew how long it may take for the help to reach every hospital in Mexico. But we feel every life saved is a battle won against COVID-19. It has been 5 weeks since we started the healing experiment on February the 8th. In this chart, you can see the 7-day average death toll when we started was 1132 for the week ending February 16th, 2021. The next 7 days, death daily average dropped to 840. That's when we started targeting 2 hospitals at the same time, and one of those 2 is a COVID hospital. Then we moved to Mexico City, and the next week, the daily average death toll dropped to 802. The work continued, and the next weekly number dropped to 682. The most recent weekly COVID death toll in Mexico for the week ending March 16th, 2021 is 503. Before making this video, I checked a few things. Mexico was the first Latin American country to get COVID vaccine. Could this drop be due to the vaccine rollout? Probably not. Only 0.5% of Mexicans are fully vaccinated. 3% got 1 dose. Many of them just got the shots, which means the drop happened before the vaccine shield started working. Plus, 6.7% of Brazil's population received shot, although only 1.8% got both doses. However, Brazil hit another COVID high in mid-March with over 84,000 daily cases and 2,798 deaths on March 14. You see, vaccine does bring hope, but it would not do much until more people get the shots. The virus moves from country to country, region to region. After devastating Europe, it moved to America. It went back to Europe, South Africa, and India, and stayed firmly in America. From north to south, no place was spared. And now the situation in Latin America is getting worse. Look at number 2, Brazil, and you will know what I mean. Number 11, Colombia. Number 12, Argentina was not doing better. Number 19, Peru, and number 22, Chile, also seemed doomed. But Mexico seemed to have turned the tide. Of course, you may argue that the United States has led the road to recovery. Businesses have reopened when the case and deaths both dropped about 80% from the pandemic peak. But we must not forget the fact that 22% of all U.S. population have been vaccinated, and the pandemic left antibodies in recovery. We can't say it is herd immunity because no one knows exactly how many were infected, but that combined with social distancing and mask wearing did stop the once unstoppable virus. Mexico does not have a stockpile of vaccine, does not have many people with antibodies, but has many with chronic disease and a scary COVID death rate at about 10%. I know we can't say how much we can help, but we must try. After releasing the energy healing videos, 2 viewers contacted me and asked if the Master could send healing energy to them. I know the Master is overwhelmed with taking care of people seeking help in Taiwan and the 2 hospitals every week, my seed experiment, and his regular classes. But knowing how important it is for the 2 viewers, I passed the messages to the Master. The Master agreed to send 3-hour healing energy to them, and they allowed me to share their experience. Although I'm a good writer, I had a hard time explaining the energy healing I got from the Master. I am not sensitive to energy. I know from blood test results that my blood sugar improved, but I did not feel a thing when he sent the energy to me. But 2 days ago, while filming, my heart started racing, and I could hardly breathe. I asked the Master for help, and my heart was back to normal in about 2 minutes. Maybe my heart corrected itself. Ooh, maybe the energy helped. Many may say our work is like a drop of water into the sea of trouble. But one drop of kindness can make a big wave and reach far. Maybe the Master's energy did not help more than a few hundred people in Mexico. But just the thought of putting others first made this world a beautiful place.